Morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It's May 24th. Prices of BTC currently at 8,009. As you can see, we are ticking back up, back towards that 8,000, 8,300 resistance right there. We're looking at the 2-hour chart right here, and if you're looking at all these arrows and you're confused, worry not. I will explain it. So what I did was, folks, I've basically created a trading range in this 2-hour time frame, okay, just to show you and illustrate that we haven't quite been just becoming quote unquote bearish. Okay, all we're really doing is we're moving sideways, really in this big sort of 7 to 8,000 range. Okay, that's really all that's been happening. All right, so even if we fall back towards 7,500, you'll know that 7,500 is really the EQ or the equilibrium of this high, which is about the 8,300 resistance, and this low, the bottom of this trading range, which is 6,900 or so. Depending on which exchange you're looking at, this might be a little bit lower, higher, same with here, okay? But for the most part, the numbers line up around the same. The structure looks about the same. So here we go. So as you can see, this resistance right here was tapped once right here, twice right here with a strong rejection to the downside, and then this pullback right here sort of caused this big dump off right here, because essentially what happens is people are far more positive and they think that 8,000 is going to break, so they'll set their stops maybe below these wicks or below these wicks, and once the candle starts breaking past here, all these stops hit, and this is like a domino effect. Okay, and really what happens is, the smart traders, the whales, they'll essentially be able to collect all of this. Okay, and they essentially did, right? That this wick says everything that I just stated, that because this wick went all the way down here on the 2-hour time frame, and then it closed right here, that means all of this was quickly bought up by demand, and this is also fresh demand because this range hadn't been touched for, I don't know, once we broke through this, we didn't even touch this as support. So you could see that this area got touched, and then we went back up with a sharp reversal back towards 8,300, got rejected again, but then yesterday or so, it looked like we were, falling back under 7,000 or something, but really what happened was we wanted to ensure that there is support near the EQ, and now we're climbing up again, okay? So I wouldn't be surprised if this sort of kind of moves towards 8,300 or so over the next couple days, grind sideways. So it'll probably be something like this. It'll move like this, like this, like this, and then move sideways, get rejected, and then sort of rip on through. Okay, I can't state exactly what day that's going to happen. That's impossible. But this is usually the structure that you see when prices are about to rip through, a particular resistance level. All right. So with that being said, I just wanted to sort of give you, a sense of calmness that all we're really doing, guys, is moving sideways between a big trading range. That's why when you see 10, 20% drops, or sorry, 5 to 10% drops in price, it's really not anything super scary, okay? I know it could be very daunting when prices go from, say, 8,300 all the way down here. That's a good, 9.7% drop. But in the grand scheme of things, really nothing has happened. All we're doing is moving sideways. So I remain consistent in my bullish outlook. I still have my positions in. Unfortunately, I got stopped out of BTC, but over the past couple of weeks, I had secured a good amount of profit, so I'm happy with that. I did, however, double down on my positions. Like Ethereum, I caught the bottom of BNB. I caught some waves right here. So, you have to be able to be fearless in times where prices do look a little scary, but once you understand the grand scheme of things, you realize that this is really nothing, this is nothing but a shakeout. This is really nothing but a retest of this EQ, and then prices are probably going to bounce back up. Obviously, you need to wait for confirmation, but for the most part, understanding the technicals of what's happening in the bigger picture of price action will yield you far more mental peace and also give you really good opportunities and trades like we got. Okay, So here are some of my open trades right now. Again, this is exactly just what I'm doing, not advising you to buy or sell. So I have Ethereum at 17.5% capital. 249 is my average. LTC 10% average is 91. BCH 395. BNB I got in luckily yesterday at 30.85. And then waves I got in right around that 3850, 3900 Satoshi level. So we'll go over those in a little bit. But for the most part, you can look at, as I've stated before, that once you start seeing this incline of a movement in terms of the top four major alts like LTC, Ethereum, and BCH starting to climb higher than Bitcoin, it looks like the alt market will be popping off in this case. Okay, and clearly LTC has taken off right here. I'm up probably a good 10-12% now on it. Holding through the face of adversity, even when LTC went down to $84 or $85 right here. And now it's back up to, let's see where LTC is right now. It's probably up to like 100 or something. Actually, yeah, it's pretty much knocking at the door of 100. You could see that clearly LTC wants to break through this $100 area, and it probably will over the next, day or so, maybe even on this candle. So very strong, move by LTC, and I'll be closing this position probably some of it around 110, and then hold on to most of it probably for the 140s and 150s area. Okay, Ethereum, same thing. I'm actually holding Ethereum for this big breakout. I'm hoping for a nice move towards anywhere between 350 and 400. I don't see any strong resistance till then, so do keep an eye on that. BCH, let's see how BCH is doing. BCH, I'm again bought in with an average around 395, so right around there, and I'm up currently about 5.5–6% right there. All right, so as you can see, if you're part of the Cryptosomniac community, you'll see my analysis and some of these winning trades, and I'm also never shy to announce my losers. As you can see, let's see, 8.4% loss, 8.5% loss. So we have some losers in there too, but it's all about having bigger winners and small losers, right? Awesome. Again, I still remain bullish in my target. I still do see this sort of ascending triangle, maybe this bull pennant forming right here with a bull flag target anywhere to the low of 95, 9600 and all the way to a high of about 12,000 or so. All right, so keep an eye on that. I did sort of spot this descending trend line that I did mention to my community yesterday, and luckily we broke out of it. As you can see, whenever you start moving sideways near resistance like this, as you can see these 3 or 4 candles, whenever you see that happen, more than likely this area is about to get broken. Why? Because this is essentially a consolidation and accumulation, a buildup of strength and momentum before the next push. Okay, and that's exactly what happened. So now we need to see if we can close above 8150. That's the next big level, and then obviously this 8320 area, 8350 to be safe. Okay, so probably the same thing's going to happen like I mentioned earlier. We'll move up a little bit, move sideways, pull back a little bit, and then rip on through. Okay, all right. I want to show another chart over here. Nope, not the right one. So here's the Elliott wave count right here. Still pretty active in that wave count. The big buildup probably in the 3-day chart is that we're seeing sort of a pennant forming right here. Okay, the pennant is probably going to contract in prices over the next couple of days, and it'll probably float in this, 7,800 to 8,000 region, and then sort of rip on through, which sort of holds consistent with our, wave count right here. The 3 finishing off the 4. Again, this 4 doesn't mean that it has to come to this level. Technically, it already did. And it also doesn't mean that it's going to come to this level at this time. It just means just a general, idea of where the wave 4 is going to hit. And then the 5th wave, as you can see, I made it to the low of 9,600, but it could go as high as 12,000, as I mentioned. Okay, still trying to get through this area right here, which is the $8,300 marker. Aside from that, let's take a look at some other alts. So here are the trades that I actually entered. Let me sort of show that. Here's the waves trade right now. So I'm actually going to probably add up a little bit more on the waves trade, as long as this low is not broken. My stop for waves is right around 35.50, 35.75. So I'm not liking the fact that waves is taking a beating because BTC is ticking up higher. So gonna have to keep a close eye on this thing. But again, if all things go well and this sort of creates a higher low like this, or even like a double bottom, something like that, I'm probably going to add on to my position right here and ride this thing to a high of 4,500 to 5,000. I'll be selling off in that area. So from here, current prices, from here to say 4,500, that's about 20%, about closer to 5,000. That's about 28-29% gain. Okay, so this is going to be a nice trade in my opinion. Again, not investment advice, do your own research, but that's what I'm going to be doing. With BNB specifically, I do see some really nice movement on BNB. I'm going to hold on to this trade for probably a little while. As you can see, BNB I got in. I'm hoping for a target of 36.8. That's the tether pair. So let's take a look at that. Let's see where tether is. So here's actually maybe it's over here somewhere. Here's the BNB chart right there. I think that's the chart that I was looking for. There we go. So the reason I had the 36.8 target is that's the 2.618 fib extension right there. That's going to be a pretty nice target of 20% because I bought in right around 30.8 right there. So I'm hoping to close off this position hopefully in the next couple hours or maybe another day. But as prices are looking right now, they look very bullish, and I'm pretty confident that this level can hit. Okay, the volume and price action for most of the major alts or major top market cap coins is looking very positive. So you can see some very strong, consistent volume, getting higher and higher. So I would say that this could easily hit 36.8 and maybe even $39 or $40 up here. Okay. All right. Wave counts are done. Let's see what else. Bull flag. I want to show you guys the weekly chart. And here's that weekly. So 2 days ago, I think when we looked at this weekly, it looked a little bit more bearish. We were somewhere down here, about that $7,600-$7,500 area, right? But now, as you can see, if the weekly starts moving up and above the closing of this candle right here, which is around 8,200, this is going to be a very bullish sign. Okay, this could probably take this next weekly candle to the high of almost 9,600, which is the closing of these right here. Okay, let's take a look at Matic. I know everyone has gotten the Matic fever. Here's Matic right now. I'd probably say Matic moved fairly nicely in this region. This sort of breaker right here, once prices sort of hit this region, let me see if I can make that a little bit smaller. It's probably something like this. So where is it? Can't quite tell where it is. I don't know where my other chart is, but anyway, so I would say Matic, after I hit this low, if it's starting to create a higher low right here and you see the next candle as a bullish candle, that would be my area of entry, personally, and then you could definitely ride Matic to another high as per this swing right here. So I'd probably target at the very least, 425 to 450 right here, anywhere in this region, because you're going to catch a little bit of resistance right here. Okay, so keep an eye on Matic as well. I'm going to take a look at EOS as one of our members wanted to look at EOS. Let me take a look at EOS over here. Kraken. Here's EOS right here. It's moving still very beautifully in this ascending parallel channel. I'd probably say it's actually created another trend line, sort of like maybe like this. It's moving a little bit at a steeper angle like that. So this is a very positive sign. So the reason why this is a positive sign, guys, is you don't ever want the trend line to keep getting tested over and over again, because eventually it's going to break. What you really want from this specific alt is to move at a higher and higher angle like this and create different trend lines, right? So you can see now this one to this touch right here, it's a steeper angle. From this touch to this touch, it's a steeper angle. From this touch to this touch, it's a steeper angle. And this also creates, a big volatile move to the upside and very little downside, but it also creates, sort of like a tightening, maybe rising wedge, because usually when prices are moving so fast and such an inclined price like this, they're going to break down. Okay, so usually, when you see prices contracting like that and you see steeper and steeper angles, that's usually where you want to let go. Okay. EOS BTC. Let's take a look at EOS BTC. Nothing special on EOS BTC. I mean, obviously after this little low right here that was created, we see some higher lows right here. I'd say most alts right now are feeling the pain, but let's see, total 2, I think. This might be the total market cap without BTC. Yep, that's perfect. Okay, so here's the total market cap. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, the total market cap was right around 74 billion or so. Now it's closer to about 98 billion. And the market cap itself is actually creating this, pennant right here. Okay, so this implies that the total market cap is also going to break out, meaning that most alts are sitting at a very particular position where they're sort of consolidating in this tightening range, and they're going to break out to the upside sometime soon. So I'm looking forward to this, most definitely. But I think BTC will probably break out before this does, if I'm not mistaken, because usually BTC leads the market and then the rest of the alts follow, right? So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on this. I'm expecting a big breakout at the very least towards, let's see, this area right here. Or I'm sorry, this area right here, which is going to be the 110 to 115 market cap. This area, probably to a high of, say 120 or 121 billion, okay? So there's going to be a lot of money flowing in, I would say, in the next couple of weeks. A lot of buzz and hype being generated. So I'm really excited for that. Again, if you come join our Cryptosomniac community, I announce BTC analysis like this every single day, multiple updates. As you can see, the update that you got this morning was already provided to my community yesterday evening, with multiple updates through the day. All right. Okay, folks. I think that about wraps it up. Cryptosomniac.com, hit products right here, and then get the Advantage subscription. And I'd say that's all I have. All right, come join. Hope to see you in our channel, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, cheers. Happy Friday.